We are back with Rebecca Hoogs. Rebecca has volunteered to read some of her wonderful poems for us from her book, Self-Storage. Rebecca, please take it away.
Thanks, Matt. This first poem is the first poem in the book. It's called This Myth. This myth is about a girl lounging naked, just another day in the glade, waiting for her 15 minutes of transformation. In this myth, there's a special inhibition. Men plant marigolds at highest noon, and not one wilts again and again. This myth features whippets and an unnoticed rabbit perching above them on a strangely sturdy flower. Okay, now hold it. This is the moment of holding it for what feels like forever. In this myth, time spaces on his date with truth, and she is always never letting him forget it. Her face is unfinished, of tears. You write about your personal mythology, he said, greatly offending me. So I turned him into a tree and cut him down and have been using him as firewood ever since. At the moment, this myth could be any myth. In this myth, I hire some babies to dress the place up with garlands. For a price, they will also exterminate dragons. In this myth, I live in a bird cage painted with foolish peacocks, starlings, swallows, and other emotions, too numerous to name. This next poem is called Villa d'Este, which is the name of a place in Italy, a Renaissance palace or home and garden. And it's distinctive for being a very beautiful garden, and I was struck when I was there last time by the contrast between the garden and what was outside of the garden. Villa d'Este. Water and stone get so ordered around, it's hard for them to break the mold of fountain or spout. I can't imagine another life for them. And the shrubs, too, are pruned within an inch of their collective life. Only the blackberries over the garden wall are having a field day. They prepare their semi-real berries for impermanent birds, or drop them casually as names. A lifetime ago, there was an ice cream stand here that's not here today. Tell me, the vendor said, impatient. What did we want, sometime in this lifetime? We settled for ice cream sandwiches and had them sitting in the pea gravel. Today I look out on thunder that would scare an emperor and tell you, a different you, about my minor surgery. I would tell any you almost anything just to have someone to tell you to. I am gushing yet clipped, living within an inch of my life. This poem, Grenade, was the title poem of my chapbook, and it was inspired by learning that the word grenade is the word for pomegranate in French, pronounced grenade, and that's where we get grenadine from, which is a syrup made from pomegranates. And so I was thinking about the myth of Persephone, and I was thinking about the word grenade in English and all the ways in which these words resonate with each other. Grenade. Little garnet thrown from the hand, little heart grown on a sleeve. Like a grain of the pomegranate, you've got a grip, you're a loaded word, about to blow. Persephone would say that the pomegranate is only an apple livid with seeds. Then, how dark down there. She and Eve compare their field notes, genus, species, a botany of botched affairs. In dreams, seeing this flesh fruit ranges in meaning the way red can range from live girls to long life. But there's no easy telling what you mean, dear grenade, no easy denotation. So the dreamer's on her own, as the besieger, a handsome devil, breaches, and you're in her hands now. No matter what she chooses to do, all you'll do is tell. 1,000 tiny bells toll, and tell. 1,000 ruby cells explode, and tell. All there is telling, and then is told. This poem, Venison, I wrote part of it years ago when I was at the McDowell Colony, and where there were a lot of deer around all the time. And at the same time, I read that the word venison came from, or is related etymologically to the word venire, which means to want in Italian, or Latin and Italian. And it was also related to the goddess Venus, the goddess of the hunt, and that all these things, venison originally meant just any animal that was wanted or hunted. Venison. Here the deer are so tame, they come closer than back in my real life. Walking down the dirt road, a deer walks beside me in the field. A good shot, I think, gun in head. I wrote that a year ago. That was years ago. Now it looks like a metaphor, like what I wanted came closer then, like my desire is stuffed and mounted on my walls, like it looks at me with glass eyes. Once venison meant any animal hunted, meant whatever was wanted. Once whatever I had a shot at, I shot at. And it looks like this is what that was about. And the last poem that I'll read is called Hocus Pocus. It was inspired by my delvings in the comics and games section of the newspaper, which I find inspiring in its inaneness generally. I was looking at the Hocus Pocus part of the paper where there's two visual panels and you're asked to find the differences between the two panels, and I was inspired particularly by the key, the answer section, which is in very tiny type upside down at the bottom of the page. Hocus Pocus. Find the differences between the two panels. Arm is moved. Hat is different. Leaf is moved. Foot is moved. Skirt is longer. Sleeve is shorter. Summer is shorter. Temper is shorter. Something is different. Heart on sleeve is missing. Heart fell off shorter sleeve. Chest is different. Chest is emptier. Smile is smaller. Hand is missing. John is Joe. Hot is colder. Time is longer. Life is shorter. Young is older. You are missing. You are moved. I am not. Everything is different.
Rebecca, thank you so much for sharing your poems with us.
Thank you, Matt.
Absolutely. Once again, the book is Self-Storage. The author is Rebecca Hoogs, available at fine retailers everywhere. Thank you so much for listening.